soon it will be audible. We will again continue.
It
Let's
is
just
audible.
yeah. You because we are also streaming the same session on YouTube, so that we have to see that it is perfectly audible now. Okay, so thank you so much all the participants who are watching us on our Engineering College Banswara YouTube channel, and we will try to connect few participants here at the end of the session so that we can have some question answer and some discussion of 3D printing or role of 3D printing in this COVID and the present pandemic situation. So it's been a privilege. We are reaching to 1:30 now. It's been a privilege to have Mr. Jigar Panchal with us, and I would like to introduce him among all the participants who have joined and listening us either on Google Meet or on our Engineering College Banswara YouTube channel. So Jigar Panchal is having more than 12 years of sales and marketing experience in pharmaceutical and travel industry. Perfectly, if I will say, he is not from engineering background, those who are looking for, and he has jumped into the 3D printing startup, which he is running since last 3 years, if I am not wrong. So he has done various tasks and the projects either related with the private sector or government sector as well. Recently, he also helped government of Gujarat for this COVID-19 mask manufacturing for how we can help our present government and our society as well during this pandemic. So this is all about Mr. Jigar Panchal and rest. When he will explain, everybody will understand what kind of things he have. As I am also being connected with him since last 3 years. So let's get it started. So I'm handing over the session to Jigar. Kindly take over and start your presentation. And the session is all yours now. Thank you so much for.
Thank you so much. I hope I am audible. Am I? Am I audible? Can you hear me
Yeah,
clearly?
you are audible. You are audible clearly.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I have been into 3D printing from the last 4 years. I mean, I got my first printer 4 years back. Firstly, I would like to tell you how excited I am to be able to, share something about my own passion and, uh, explain to you guys how 3D printing is done as well as, the business aspects of 3D printing. Uh, I would like to thank EC Baswada and BBM College for allowing me to or giving me the space to speak up. Uh, yeah, like I said, I've been working. I had my 3D printer like from the last 4 years. It's been 2 to 3 years since I started it as a business, and it has been a very fabulous journey so far. And I get to learn every day something new or the other. I have a workspace where I have like 8 printers, which consist of 5 FDM printers, plus you have 2 DLP printers. I have my own business startup, plus I had an engineering college with the business development part. So, and plus I have a whole setup at home where, I try to, um, try to promote 3D printing to youths on Instagram. Plus, I have a YouTube channel where I teach 3D printing in the most layman language possible, so that everyone, like Ravi sir said, that 3D printing is like a zero skill technology where you don't have to go through a firm or an educational institute to actually learn about 3D printing. So I try to get everyone into 3D printing as much as I can. Yes, I have a belief that India has been birthplace of a lot of great people, great thinkers, innovators, and with time we have lost that touch where a person he might be creative. Every one of us can be creative, but that medium in between where he can use his creativity and bring it to a live product is missing. So I think 3D printing is the right thing for that. Uh, I have a video. So I know you must be all acquainted with 3D printing, but I would like to share one of my videos where I have explained 3D printing in a very layman language, so that you can start off with that. It's 3.5 minute video. So let me start off with that. In case it is not audible, just stop me from between so that I could make sure how I could make it audible from there. Just a minute.
Yeah, definitely, please, sir.
3D प्रिंटिंग क्या है? 3D प्रिंटिंग एक ऐसा प्रोसेस है जिससे हम किसी भी 3D डिज़ाइन को एक लाइव प्रोडक्ट में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं। अगर हम 2D प्रिंटर की बात करते हैं तो एक 2D प्रिंटर में सिर्फ 2 डायमेंशंस होते हैं, लेंथ और विड्थ। 3D प्रिंटर एक ऐसा प्रिंटर है जिसमें एक तीसरा डायमेंशन भी ऐड हो जाता है जो है हाइट, और इससे बन जाता है ये 3 डायमेंशन, यानी लेंथ, विड्थ और हाइट। इसका मतलब है एक मशीन जो एक 3D डिजाइन को एक 3 डायमेंशनल चीज में प्रिंट करता है उसे 3D प्रिंटर कहते हैं। ये 3D प्रिंटर कई अलग अलग प्रकार के होते हैं जिनमें अलग अलग टेक्नोलॉजी यूज की जाती है, पर मैं इस वीडियो में आपको सिर्फ FDM 3D प्रिंटिंग के बारे में बताऊंगा। FDM 3D प्रिंटिंग बाकी सारी 3D प्रिंटिंग टेक्नोलॉजी से सबसे इजी टेक्नोलॉजी है और सबसे सस्ती भी। इसका वर्किंग कुछ इस तरह होता है। सबसे पहले ज़रूरी होता है एक 3D डिज़ाइन, जैसे कि ये 3D डिज़ाइन को पहले एक स्लाइसिंग सॉफ्टवेयर में डालते हैं। यहाँ मैं यूज़ करूँगा क्यूरा सॉफ्टवेयर, जिस पर मैं एक डिटेल्ड वीडियो बनाऊंगा। वीडियो के अपडेट्स के लिए सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकॉन पर क्लिक कीजिए। क्यूरा एक फ्री स्लाइसिंग सॉफ्टवेयर है। ये स्लाइसर सॉफ्टवेयर में इस डिज़ाइन को छोटे छोटे लेयर्स में स्लाइस किया जाएगा और इन स्लाइसेस को जी कोड में बदला जाएगा, जिसे आप अपने 3D प्रिंटर में फीड करोगे। एक 3D प्रिंटर में सबसे पहले एक प्लास्टिक का वायर का स्पूल जोड़ा जाएगा जो इस मोटर के द्वारा प्रिंटर के एक्सट्रूडर में जाएगा। ये एक्सट्रूडर से जुड़ा एक नोजल होता है जो प्लास्टिक को पिघला के प्रिंटर में फीड किए हुए जी कोड के हिसाब से लेयर बाय लेयर इसे पिघलाते हुए प्लास्टिक को बेड पे गिराते जाएगा। और इसी तरह एक 3D डिजाइन 3D प्रिंटिंग के द्वारा एक लाइव मॉडल में प्रिंट किया जाएगा।
तो कैसा लगा आपको 3D प्रिंटिंग के बारे में जान के? हमें ज़रूर बताइएगा कमेंट सेक्शन में। आपको पता है यही 3D प्रिंटर्स आज बड़े बड़े साइजेस में घर भी प्रिंट कर रहे हैं। जी हाँ, फ्रांस में एक कपल ने एक प्लॉट खरीदा और 48 आवर्स के बाद वो लोग घर में शिफ्ट भी हो गए। जी हाँ, यही 3D प्रिंटिंग टेक्नोलॉजी आज खाना भी बना सकती है। चॉकलेट्स, पैनकेक, पिज्ज़ाज और न जाने क्या क्या हो। धीरे धीरे हर एक फील्ड में 3D प्रिंटिंग घुस रहा है। जी हाँ, अगर आपको 3D प्रिंटिंग के बारे में और जानकारी चाहिए तो हमें प्लीज़ फॉलो कीजिए और हमारी कोशिश रहेगी कि हम Okay, so was that audible? Was that clear?
Yeah, it was audible, perfectly perfect.
Okay, so that was a bit of brief about 3D printing for those who are not acquainted with it as far. And now the business aspects. I made a short presentation for that, but I could explain it in more detail. Let's get on with that. Okay, now 3D printing, I believe you can pretty much make anything with 3D printing as long as you have a concept or a working design that you can further go into 3D printing and you can make it. But there are a lot of mistakes that 3D printing businesses as of now in India are doing. So let me explain some factors that they ignore before getting into a 3D printing business. Yes. Now, I'd say 3D printing is not at all easy, but with patience and practice, anybody can do it. It means that, it is 3D printers, when you look at YouTube videos and, when even before I started into 3D printing, it was more like you buy a machine, you press a button and it starts working. But it is not like that. You need to understand the printer, you need to understand how the mechanism works, and it takes time. And then after that, gradually you could start thinking about getting into a business. But it is very important to start off with practicing, having your own models printed, or there are a lot of websites where you have free models where you can download and start printing it. So where is 3D printed used? 3D printing used? 3D printing can be used in various ways. Business is just one way of using 3D printing, but there is so much you can do with 3D printing for the community, for the environment, for the world, for commercial, and so much more. So let's see what it has already been doing, helping us. Automobile engineering. I mean, automobile engineering, the functional parts as well as the exterior parts, which is just the show or the aerodynamics of any vehicle. 3D printing can be helped with both these sectors in automobile engineering. Like the functional parts, you can build prototypes, which can be again, once the prototype is successful, you could convert it into other materials and then use it, as well as the outer body, where you could just 3D print and use SLS technology or maybe FDM technology, and then use those parts and attach it to the automobile or the project you're working on. Next, you have interiors. Interiors, there has been a lot of creativity, but when you go into mass production, there are a lot of constraints till before 3D printing became, more commercial. Now interior designers can get into more intricate designs, more complex designs, and they can bring out their creativity as far as interiors are concerned. Another aspect is jewelry. Now, jewelry is also getting a lot of focus, giving a lot of focus to 3D printing, because even students, youths like you and me, can get into jewelry and accessory making with small printers, small size printers, or even if you're designers, if your approach to jewelry is not intricate like these pictures you see on the screen, you can use SLS technology or SLS technology, which really helps you get into jewelry making necessary, which which you don't have to be an engineer. Like any person could have an interest into jewelry, and they can pursue their career in that. We have architecture. Architecture, the orthodox ways of creating architecture models were very basic, or not long lasting. Now with the help of 3D printing, a lot of these structures can be detailed before setting up the actual building or the whole construction to be started. So that is one way. Movie props. I mean, you are all aware of the Hollywood movies that are coming out right now, the Endgame, Avengers. Most of these sets, the props, the costumes are made from 3D printing. And if it is not 3D printing, then it is just a VFX digital, screen that you're seeing rather than an actual product. But majority of the live things that they show on these movies are due to 3D printing. You can see my own Iron Man suit over here that I'm working on from the past 4 months. And yes, you have space technology. Space technology has done wonders because of 3D printing. Back in the day, they had used astronomy, the astronaut suits that now have become very compact and very easy to function. There was a time before 3D printing that they had to have packed food, because if in the absence of oxygen, the what do you call it? The food that they carry on the spaceships, they used to rot. So now what happens is they have a 3D printer that prints food, like the video I just showed you before this. So it is doing wonders right from the engines and like all the parts. 3D printing is advancing them day by day, and it is becoming more compact and more easy and more sustainable for the astronauts as well. Food, like I said again, is a wide market where pancakes, foods, chocolates, and unimaginable things are now being into 3D printing. Yes, uh, and there's so much more into 3D printing. Each and every one of us can have a different outlook or a different approach to how 3D printing can be used in their day-to-day life. No? Now, I want to tell you, like I said before, I want to explain what most of the businesses that come across are starting up in India are having that are facing problems because they ignore some very basic facts that about 3D printing that everyone needs to know before getting into it. Now, now a lot of 3D printing businesses start off, looking at videos and everyone thing, saying that let's get into the business and let's cater to everyone. But there are a lot of factors that really they could bump into, and then there is a block at the beginning. So there's as like let me start with designing. Now, every different kind of 3D designing or every different industry might have a different kind of designing software for 3D. Like like if something like character modeling, you would need ZBrush or Sandbox. Or for someone who's working with jewelry, they might they would need to get into Rhino, which is a software for jewelry making, and like into engineering, there are softwares like SolidWorks and Fusion 360, which is a very easier version of SolidWorks that you can use for design. So, like, for say, if you start up a business without checking these resources for what all resources you have for designing, then you might come into different kinds of customers where you have different kinds of requirements as well for designing the 3D. So, and the more the complexity of the design, it takes more time. There have been complex designs that can take 1 to 3 months also to complete a design. And then there's a lot of back and forth in every kind of designing. Like if you're a designer, you come up with your first you know the layout, the first design that you got out, and then you print it, or if someone checks it, and then you need to change. So all of those are a part of the whole 3D printing process. Then there is time. Now, a lot of people think that 3D printing, when it comes to 3D printing, it's just pressing a button and whatever you have in mind, it comes out of the box. But it is not like that. When someone gives you an inquiry for 3D printing, or if you want to make something for 3D printing, your first thing that you have to get into is designing. You have to figure out that how that concept or that imagination can be brought into a design. Plus, that designing has to be done with understanding the limitations of 3D printing. Then comes the 3D printing part. Now, something as something like a 4-inch model, I'm sorry, could take like 4 hours or 5 hours to print, but the same 4-inch size could be more complex, and that same 4-inch could be taking 24 hours to 30 hours to print as well, depending on the complexity. So even that print time, and then there are failed prints in case something is wrong with the printer or the filament. That print can be failed. So that is an additional time that can be taken in printing. Then there is support removal, cleaning, post processing, which are a very important part of 3D printing as well. Third aspect, what a 3D printing needs to realize is that the material that you're using. Yes, a lot of people use PLA, but you should understand that PLA is the easiest material to print as far as FDM technology is concerned. Yes, then there's ABS. As soon as you get to a more complex designing, you need a more controlled environment. Like for ABS, if I just print it like any other PLA material, then there are a lot of chances that if it is like an open body, then the print warps, like due to humidity, due to the air, that the environmental air, it affects your print. So the more you get into more materials into 3D printing, you have complexities. So you need to understand those complexities before you actually start off with any business or anything. It is very crucial to understand what you're doing before getting into business. They always say your first impression is your last impression. So when you start a business, if you do not take care of these small things, then you do come to a point where you have a mental blockage, or you have an issue which you can avoid if you check your resources and you plan keeping these in mind. Accuracy. Now there are different types of 3D printers, for different kinds of accuracy or different levels of detailing required. Like something as big as like 6 inches would, and if it is like my minute details, it can be covered. But if the same kind of detailing you want on something this small, you cannot depend on FDM technology. Then you have DLP technology and or the SNS technology where they have small objects, and in the small objects you have micro detailing because the layers, not like FDM technology, they're even micro. They are micro layers. So for different kind of usage, you need different kind of printers, which is again very important. You might not come be aware of that, and you might get an inquiry, but if once you start printing, then you realize, and then you have to get back to your customer saying that sir ये possible नहीं है, इसको कुछ और technology में use करना पड़ेगा. It is an obstacle. The person will not come to you. It totally shows that you are not experienced in 3D printing or what you're doing basically. So experience is a very important factor as far as 3D printing is concerned. And the most important is that you have to always remember it's a prototyping machine. There are a lot of businesses who started off, say, where they try to build mechanical things, but sell it as a print. You can do that when your object is not that complex. You can sell, but you have to keep in mind that once if the business clicks, or if you actually have demand of the product, you have to make sure you have a backup ready where you can mass produce. Like if you're thinking, if all of a sudden you have a product that is very fine and your demand picks up like crazy, you have people from all around who wants that product from you. You cannot sit and 3D print that if you have like 1,000 quantity or a 500 quantity. Like this is a time-consuming process. Even for something like 50 quantities or something which is countable, you can pursue 3D printing, but sooner or later you will have to get into mass production if that product clicks. Yes. So you have to. Another thing that because it is a prototyping machine, you have a lot of different materials to play around. You have, even if you're interested into jewelry or accessories, which the things are small. Yes, then you can get into mass production because if you have a bed size of around 300 or something like that, then if it is small, you can multiply those products into multiple. But at the same time, if you are into production into bigger things, then it takes a lot of time. So you have to keep in mind that it is a prototyping machine and not a magic box. Yes. Again, like I said, the biggest mistake every business does is they try to run into every direction. Like what I've noticed recently is there's someone starts a 3D printing business. Yes. And then they make their models as samples, and then they start approaching every direction, every field. But I would suggest know your resources, know your plus points, and pick a niche or a single direction where you want to go, and you can grow in that. When you're running everywhere around, you don't get to learn. Okay, you might be able to serve those requirements, but at some or the other point of time, you are not learning in a specific direction, and it is a mental blockage in so many ways. Yes. Okay, this is what I believe. Now, not everyone can have a passion in 3D printing, but everyone has a passion to which 3D printing can advance. Let me explain this. Hello? Shubham, can you hear me? I just lost touch.
Yes, you are audible, Jigar. You are audible clearly.
Yeah.
Please continue.
So, okay. So I want to show you some a couple of videos, to explain my further points. Let's go to that.
SitPack is a new kind of take everywhere, rest anywhere seat. Pull out the pill-shaped capsule, extend the telescoping pole to your desired height, and lean into the portable resting spot. With a seat this compact, you can take a load off wherever you are or on any kind of terrain.
Ooh, look at that. So this right here is
a headless electric guitar. Look how compact this thing is. So apart from being really compact, what other features does this guitar have? Well, you can make it less compact by using the foldable body, which increases the size quite substantially. I like the way it locks into place, but it's not so locked in that it's hard to put back. Just enough to be secure, but not enough to be troublesome. And then also, if you want to expand the knee rest just here, just hold down the button and pull it out. And this part here is actually really secure, so you can actually put a lot of pressure on there. You don't have to worry about it sliding back up. And as you can see right there, you've basically got a full guitar body with one press of a button and one flick of the wrist. Now, so anyone with a GoPro should have a 3D printer. I couldn't tell you how many times I have been using a 3D printer to make, any mounts basically for a GoPro. I've done tripods, flexible filament to make it less vibrating, mount, extended arms, cases. This is an adapter for actually the DSLR with the Rode mic. I made this little adapter for the microphone, one more extended arm. This specific mount is actually for, it's basically just a general clamp mount, but it can be mounted on, okay, I'm gonna remove these. It can be mounted on something like a skateboard.
So what I am trying to explain, if you could see the video or even a little bit of it, what I'm trying to show about how innovators are using 3D printing. Now, 3D printing is a machine where you can bring your thoughts or your concepts out in ways that could lead you to a business. Where a lot of people are trying to ask people what they need. If you don't have that for something like that kind of a business, you need a lot of printers. When you're catering to a lot of people, you need more printers. Like if you have a couple of printers, or if you have one printer and you want to start a business, and you get one order. So your printer, if it is a big order, even if it is a small thing, that the amount of time that the printer is going to take is going to be long. So while the printer is working on that model, you cannot work on other businesses. So in such a kind of scenario, you will need a lot of printers, a lot of different kind of printers, where your financial backup plays a very important role. Similarly, there is also ways where you could use 3D printing, and with one printer you could do wonders. You could do even better than that prior scenario of 3D printing business, where you are an innovator, where the actual concept of 3D printing really can do wonders, like I said. So I was trying to show you how people have innovated. Like there's this guy I was trying to show who's into skateboarding. Yes. So he's found obstacles as to how he can show himself, or how he could take videos of him skateboarding. So he's used 3D printing as a technology to enhance his passion. Like I said in the beginning, not everyone should have a passion and can have a passion in 3D printing. But at the same time, everyone has some passion that they can advance because of 3D printing. Now, these people, I've even shown to another two videos over there, where someone has built a compact guitar. Now, someone who's learning or studying cannot come up with such ideas. When you're studying over there at college or at home about engineering, you cannot come with innovative ideas. Yes, you can learn about how things work, but it is very important that this knowledge is somewhere you try to attach with your day-to-day life, or something like the person who invented that guitar with a compact body must have been a passionate guitarist who has a regular problem of carrying the guitar around. So he used his knowledge about mechanisms, and he put that into his passion, and that is where he became an innovator, and that is where he brought out a product. He came out with the innovative product. Same way, there was this first video where there's a person who's invented a product where he can rest anywhere. He can stand anywhere and take rest. He could just put that support behind his body and he could rest. So it is not that he was sitting sitting at a place and he wants to think about concepts. I want to innovate something. I want to innovate something, and he got an idea. No, he must be a traveler, or he must be into a lot of positions where he has to stand in queues or something like that. तो तब उसने अपना knowledge he combined it with his day-to-day activities, and then got into the whole innovation. So what I am trying to say here is, when you actually put your creativity or your knowledge into your day-to-day life, that is when you start developing as an innovator. Now, let me show you some examples where this as a start can also help you in a lot of ways. I mean, this is just a starting process of how you can, develop as an innovator. Slowly, you would start, if you start on this track, everything in your day-to-day life, you start thinking in a different aspect, this different perspective, where every problems you face, you try to solve it with what knowledge you have. See, now there are a lot of designers that don't design pretty big or pretty complex things, but still can make money out of it. So let me share that with you. Like, this is CG Trader, one of the many websites that you can sell your designs, not just 3D printing, but even designs. Like, this is a CG Trader, a website where you can sell your designs. Now, there are simple concepts where people have made from mobile stand. I'm selling it for like $2, $10. Now, this is a very simple structure. And if you design, you don't even have to make it if you're good at designing. You sell these designs. Believe me, this Iron Man suit that stands behind me, the whole suit was sold for $500. And depending on the market, there are even small objects like this is another website, Etsy, where people are selling their 3D printed things. Now, this is a very basic design, and it doesn't even take time to 3D print. Whereas this person is selling it for $13 and has already sold 420 quantities. Someone of that. So there's a lot of place or a lot of ways you sell your 3D printing aspects, like even design or 3D prints. And you can start off with that, and start developing an innovative mind and how you could use your innovation and grow from there. So you do not have to have that much of and every different kind of printer over there to start off. Even a creative mind, as for now, even if you don't have printers, you could start developing as a designer as of now. And later, when you get out of college and when you have that kind of backup, when you can start a business, the whole designing outlook or the whole innovation outlook can really help you at that point of time. So I would request that people get into such things, because now 3D printing is being getting into every field. It is getting into every field, like even like I said, food, construction. Just a second. Yeah, so food and construction and textile, and so many. Every field or every genre has some way or the other that you could promote 3D printing. So that is one important aspect. So coming back to our presentation, like I said, I would like to repeat this once again. Not everyone can have a passion in 3D printing. I will give you my example. Like my passion was always giving realistic artifacts. Like if there's something made of plastic, how to make that thing look into a metallic object. So that was what my passion was. But I cannot do such things on canvas. But ever since I got into 3D printing, now I can print models and then I value to it with my passion. So these are very important aspects that you need to take in mind before getting into business. Now, whenever you do a job or a business, you will do it for a very long time. It's not just you can do it for 6 months and then you're happy for the rest of your life. So I would try to promote businesses that you enjoy doing or you have a passion in doing, which takes you a long way if you enjoy. If it is just going to get you spin off for you, even if that the business then it is no different from getting a salary. So that is one very important aspect. Uh, so that is what I wanted to say from my end.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, Jigar. Is it audible to all? Thank you so much, Jigar. Hello.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes. Tell me.
So as of now, we came to the end of the presentation of Mr. Jigar. He has explained all the industrial aspects. We will take some questions as well. So those who are interested in asking some questions related to the industrial background of 3D printing, they can be ready with their question and type it in the chat box, and they can also join it in our portal as well. So before that, I would like to request Mr. Gajen Nehiwal, who is the technical assistant in our 3D printing lab at Engineering College Banswara, to showcase this. Gajan, is it audible for you? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, sir,
So this
audible,
is
sir.
our, yeah, okay. So just showcase the lab facility we have in our engineering college Banswara. This is the facility we have in whole engineering college Banswara. So go with one by one, just wait there, and I will tell that what kind of facility you can show so that everybody can see it properly.
Look at.
Okay. Jigar, can you hear me? Can you say, is it audible for you?
Yes, yes,
Okay, so as you
yes.
all can say that this is a FDM printer and the bed size is roughly about 15 cross 15 cross 15, okay, centimeter cube. So this we have purchased initially just for the demonstration purpose of all the students in our UG, because in our engineering college we have only UG students in 4 branches: mechanical, electrical,
I can't hear you.
XYZ 3D printer.
I lost your voice in between, so I couldn't get that.
Okay, okay. Is it audible? Is it audible, Gajen?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, audible, sir.
So, okay, so this is the second 3D printer which we have purchased after the smaller size of 3D printer. This is 20 cross 20 cross 20, and the another feature this 3D printer have is engroover. There is a special attachment instead of extruder. There is a engroover as well, so you can also do the engrooving job on the same platform. So if you have any kind of thing ready that you can showcase, and just showcase the whole lab. We have 2 smaller 3D printers and one bigger 3D printer of the same technology, which is FDM. Most of our participants are asking about how we can do the 3D printing or how we can start the 3D printing. Those basic videos, as Jigar has initially explained, that these are the things which are under this 3D printing technology, how you can do the printing with the help of FDM. So these are the facilities, or these are few parts which we have printed before starting of this session. These are few, even as Ravi sir explained that this is very prominent technology in the biomedical field as well. So few, just for the demonstration purpose, for the students we have printed these parts, and many more are there. So if you have, Gajen, if you have any kind of engrooving work done over there, then you can showcase that thing, that
Yes, sir,
this
we have.
yeah, that engrooving is also there, because which is a special attachment of that XYG 3D printer. Means instead of 3D printing, you can also do the engrooving. Yeah, this is a Adi Yoga photo which they have engrooved it on a board paper or board file. Okay, so you can engroove the same, means you have to directly import the same picture and engroove it on any kind of thick board. Either that should not be reflectory in nature, means obviously it is going to be done by the laser, so it should not be reflectory in nature. So that thing you can do with the help of these things. This is one photo is also printed on the same paper. Okay, so and more thing, if you all the participants, if you want to know more detail or in the layman layout, you can go to the YouTube channel of Jigar, the third dimension. And similarly, our technical assistant has also prepared few videos related to the 3D printing. So those are already uploaded in our YouTube channel as well. So you can go through that to get the basic details. If you have any question, just try to write us, or whenever you feel free, you can ask. So I will take few questions which has been asked by the students before. So the first question is, Mr. Jigar, is what kind of filament types used in 3D printers?
There are a lot of types used in the 3D
Yeah.
printers. Now, the material that you use it totally depends on what is the end product, or how much heat is it going to bear, or how much pressure is it going to bear, or how are you going to use it, indoors or outdoors. So depending on that, there are different technologies, different materials, and for different materials there are different technologies. When you talk about FDM, the most used is PLA. Now, PLA is easy, like I said before, and the more complex or the more heavy duty materials that you want to use, you need to understand. So, very important with all these materials is experience, and yes. So there are a lot of materials. There is even nylon. There is, and you won't believe with the coming days there are more and more materials adding up to in the same manner.
Yeah.
So materials are endless. Like you heard research said, now materials, biomaterials are also used. Or nowadays already given researches on making a heart out of 3D printing, like with printing out of tissues or cells. So it is a very vast area that we're talking about as far as materials concerned.
Okay. So another question is related to this prominent technology of 3D printing, which is fused deposition modeling, FDM. So as in various 3D FDM printers, they used to have two kinds of materials like PLA and ABS. What is the difference between or comparison between these two materials, PLA and ABS? Just if you could.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, if you print PLA, like if you see, I have a printer just behind. It is an open body printer.
Yeah.
You know, so PLA doesn't have that many external factors that affect it. So you can print it in an open body. Likewise, if you print the same thing with ABS, then after 3 or 4 years, as your environment has humidity, or if your fans are on, if your ACs are on, and it has wind blowing onto it, then that print starts warping. Like waves of it starts, like disforming from the print itself. Plus, there will be many instances where if there is even if the print seems perfect at the end, the integrity of the print is not even not even strong as a PLA, whereas it is supposed to be much more better than PLA. So it is very important that for ABS that your environment is also controlled, the humidity is controlled, and or if not the room, then that 3D printer has an what do you call it, and a box or a surrounding where that particular area has a controlled environment or a temperature. And if that is a perfect environment, then your ABS is much stronger than PLA. Because PLA, if you travel outside, you're having a object printed of PLA, and if it is very hot, then it disforms. It easily disforms, and this is an experience by me also in the past. Whereas ABS, if printed purposely, you can use it n number of ways with n number of environmental conditions as well. Yes. Plus, now PLA. Another factor with PLA is the fumes while printing that come out is not toxic.
Okay.
So so PLA is easier in that way. As well as if you're printing in ABS, you have to make sure you have an outlet for those fumes as well. And it is not in a closed room where you're using printing ABS.
Okay.
There is a third aspect where PLA is made, or PLA is out of cornstarch or sugarcane extracts. It is biodegradable, is what they say. But that is in conditions where you are using pure PLA. For a commercial purpose, I have done my own research and found out that there are polymers that are non-biodegradable that are used in commercial desktop 3D printing. So whereas at the same time, if you check ABS again is not a biodegradable object or a material. So that is another difference in ABS and BF.
Got it. So the next question is asked by one of the participants that how 3D printing is different from the typical manufacturing method, or I will say the conventional manufacturing methods.
This is a very important question. I'm glad you brought it up. Before getting into my business, it was obviously that I had to research that what are the ways people are doing it before 3D printing came into existence. Like 3D printing is not very famous in India, so I have to see what are the orthodox ways, of doing 3D printing. So if a person, if today, believe me, if any student from an engineering college has a devastating, a very nice product, which is sure to go in the market. The obstacles in the traditional ways are 1,000 times more than what you can do. Like just think of a product. Like this is a design that you have, a concept that you have. Now this to get into the market, what you have to do is you carve it, or you do a CNC or something in a material, then check it. If it is not fine, then you again have to, you have to make a die for these things. At the same time, and then if there is a fault in the design or in the making of the product, you have to again spend thousands of rupees or lakhs of rupees to make another die to reach that final product. There's a lot of iterations between your concept and your final product. And these dies cost you thousands. They cost you lakhs actually. Something like a die for such a small object would cost you something around 40,000 to 50,000 rupees. And then you have always face the problems of the iteration where you again have to make a new design iteration and make a new die. Now this could take months or even years to reach a final product, because believe me, when you started, it was just a concept. When you practically start making it, that is when you realize that there are a lot of different other factors that you have to keep in mind. Now at the same time, when people say 3D printing is a very time-consuming process, if you compare it with the traditional methods, like I said, it takes years. Here, if you print something this small, it would take 4 hours or 3 hours maybe. Like in 3 hours, you get a product out, you check it if it has per requirement, if not, you make the necessary changes in your design, and then you print it again. So in a day, you could take 3 to 4 iterations or even more for the same concept. Whereas this same thing, like even making one die would take 3 to 15 days. That is an additional time that is saved. So as far as the traditional methods are concerned, 3D printing is a very big breakthrough as far as prototyping is concerned. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So the next question is, this has been asked by the 2-3 students and the technical staff, that what is the type and cost of 3D printer for the startup, for a small scale, and how we can set a startup or start a business related to this? Because
I would tell you that yes. It was a huge risk for me when I started the business, and luckily it's been 2 years and I've grown. I've just grown so far. So I think I am able to answer this question.
Yeah, please.
As far as 3D printing is concerned, you have to start with buying a 3D printer. Now there comes your first question: what is a cheap option for 3D printer? There are printers right now that are DIY that come to around 20,000, have smaller bed sizes, and are very user friendly. These are desktop printers that are made especially for people who are non-technical or non-industrial ways, where you can start 3D printing. There's another aspect which I explained, that once you have a 3D printer, start using 3D printing into your day-to-day lives. Like if you have a table where you sit and study, or you do anything at the table, you find that you lose a lot of pens. If you have a 3D printer, you could use that 3D printer into making a pen holder of your way, of your likings. Like if you're into something like what I am into superheroes or something like that, you could add those aesthetic values on that on that pen holder, and you could, that is your start. That is not just you're making a 3D printer and using it. It is your start of becoming an innovator. Slowly, if you start looking at every prospect in that way, you will reach at a point where you can have the confidence of starting your business. This is another aspect. Third aspect for starting up a business is that what you want to do, what you want to get out of the 3D print or the 3D printer. So if you are into accessories or jewelry, one printer is fine. Yes, with a big bed size. Now, like the one I said for 20 to 25,000, this is a smaller bed size. And if you think you have a lot more designs that you could incorporate pretty early, then a bigger bed size would cost you something around 40 to 50,000, which is like 300 by 300 by 300 plus a height of 410, like the one I'm using. So there are 3D printers again of different kinds that you can start off with. Again, if you want to start off, if you have a dental background or you want to make things that are very intricate, then you cannot use FDM. Then you have to start off with DLP or SLA 3D printing. The cost of such printers starts from 1 lakh rupees and more. But yes, as of start, you can start with one printer. Yes, because the key of a startup is to understand getting into. Again, this is not starting off a business. This is starting off for 3D printing. For getting into business, you have to start 3D printing and know your plus points, or which direction you want to go in, which will later on tell you that okay, for this particular market you need this many printers. So it is very, and then like I said, like what majority people are doing here in India, like they are trying to cater to all. If you want those kind of printers, then it cannot be done with one printer or two printers. You have to have a big setup, big business setup. But I would say that the people actually getting ahead with 3D printing are the small, who have a specific direction they are working towards, where they are growing every day, learning new things. So if your approach, if the way you're starting off is right, then you do not need to get into that all that financial, uh, you know, help that you need for the business in that way. Yes.
Okay, okay. Okay. And one more request from my end is if you can showcase what kind of fascinating thing you have printed. Few things if we can showcase to our participants at the end, we can also do that thing as well. And the last question is
I
there. Yeah.
Yeah, most
Uh,
most of my things that I printed are at display at the place I work.
yeah.
Yes. From the last 4 or 5 months, I've been working on this project. For I know, I mean, everyone is fascinated with
Okay.
the Iron Man suit. What I'm planning with this is the print part is totally done. Now comes with the electronics. Now I'm going to this is a wearable suit. I can wear the whole suit. But now I want, before painting or coming into the final, look, I have to incorporate servos where I press a button, it automatically opens up and it closes, the lights come on, and I'm trying to incorporate as many mechanisms before I start painting it.
Yeah.
So it is a process.
Okay.
Yes.
So the question is here, it has been asked by the Dr. Veeras sir, that what will be your approximate cost of your setup? As we can see that in Amazon we can get a rough or similar kind of 3D printer in roughly about 20,000 to 40,000. So is there any suggestion that what will be the estimated cost for any initial setup of a startup?
For a startup,
Yeah.
again, depending, like I said, depending on something, if you want something like a small scale startup,
Yeah.
where you're into basic showpieces or gift articles or something, then I think you could start off with two printers. So
Okay.
two printers plus, filament is something, again, the material cost, you cannot take it as a bulk order. Now these are polymers that are affected by the environment. So the more humid area you are putting it in, it is more advisable to not buy it in bulk. Plus, I have references right now in India. We're at a position that if you want a filament, or if you're out of filament, you order it, and the very next day you get the filament. So there's no stoppage in your work. So these filaments cost anywhere, like a normal PLA costs like 1,000 rupees for a kilo, and if you have and it is going down. The normal PLA has also come down to 500, 550 rupees for a roll of 1,000. Another cost that you need to bear in mind is before you have a startup, you have to have a display where you are you're presenting the products you can make. you know so that is a procedure that you have to that is an expense that you have to incur before starting off a business.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
So,
having two printers, having two printers, you are limited with the number of items you can make in a week or in a month or so. So if the amount of the area of your business also says a lot about how much you're going to spend before starting that business to even make displays or how you're going to present your work. So basically, with the most minimum or the minimalist, uh, cost of setup, you could start with something around 3 lakhs to 5 lakh rupees
okay.
is what I can say.
Okay.
And there's no limit. There's no limit to how big you can make it.
Yeah, got it. So next question is there from the Mr. Vishal that is the strength of these 3D printing models are as good as models made using conventional methods, means like the machining, grinding, and forging. So is it strength, comparability, any kind of thing is there?
For FDM, it becomes very tough to actually compare.
Yeah.
There are like if you have the environment setup, you can use PETG and ABS and even PC materials for FDM, which are can reach to the you can compare it with these traditional methods,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but FDM is a very cheaper 3D printer. But if you want to get into nylons or other polymers that have more resistance, you have to go to bigger printers. But yes, 3D printers, depending on what technology you can use, you can reach the materials that are used on traditional methods, or even better materials than you can use for traditional methods. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I will like to add in this as well that
I can't hear you. No?
conventional methods. If you are going to manufacture or doing the 3D printing using the metals, then definitely that metal will be the same material which you are going to consume or going to utilize in that conventional manufacturing processes. So that may be comparable. If you will do the study, then definitely you will find it out. So the next question is from one of the student, Mr. Parth Dhanak. He is asking what design software I prefer. This is a very prominent question when I used to discuss this thing in the classes. Every students are much fascinated about the softwares. Just tell me the software, they are ready to learn. So what kind of softwares they have to learn? Either they want to enter in the industry or either they want to do the 3D printing. So what
Okay. So
specifically designing he's asking, then you can cover other aspects of the field as well.
as far as engineering concerned, the more professional software is SolidWorks. It starts from the basic designing and takes you to the simulation where you can even know the functionality before producing the thing. But then again, it is a very heavy software, and when you want to, it is not just designing; it is a lot more than designing. Like I said, even simulation. If not, there is a software called Fusion 360, which I think is free, which I'm pretty sure is free as a free software, where it is a free software, yes. Which as an engineer you could use, which is very, very advanced and very user friendly, which you can use. If you are interested in designs which are non-mechanical, or or something like character designs, then like I said, ZBrush or Sandbox or Blender. These are very important softwares, and that is different. When you're working with geometry in SolidWorks, comparing that with ZBrush, you're actually using virtual clay. Now these are characters. When you make a sculpture, it is an it is clay that you're molding. So for such things, you have a different perspective of designing. There's Rhino, which is used for jewelry and accessories. And again, depending on what your outcome is going to be, that is how I can tell you what designing softwares you can use for it. But I'm assuming that majority of the people are looking for engineering designs or similar geometrical designs, where Fusion 360 is very good.
Yeah.
But later on, if you want to get into even more complex design, SolidWorks is the next step. Yes.
Okay. So the next question is there from one of the participants that can we use 2D drawing or 2D photo for the 3D printing? Means it can be get it printed by the model. Is it possible?
No, there's another thing called photogrammetry that can be used, but again, you have to have thousands of photos, not hundreds of photos from different angles. Like there's a product or a person standing, you want his model. You have to take a lot of pictures from different angles and then feed it in a software where it it grabs whatever it can understand and then it makes a rough figure. Then again you have to repair it. There is a whole process of repairing it. But so far, no, you cannot just take one picture and then make it put it in the printer and then print it. It is not possible so far. No.
Yeah. Got it. So as of now, we are not having any more questions. So if you have any participants, if you have any kind of questions, just try to ask. Even you can unmute yourself and ask the questions with the speaker. If you have, else we will try to complete our webinar after 5-10 minutes. Please, those who are having any questions, please ask. Yeah. Not at as of now, is it? Okay. So I would like to, yeah. What is the running? Traditional manufacturing running cost with the cost of the 3D printing parts.
Okay, after once getting the 3D printer, your costs are just two things: the materials. Now, materials range from 1,000 rupees per kilo to and can go very complex materials like PETG can go to around 7,000 to 8,000 rupees per kilo as well. Uh, at the same time, if you're talking about electricity is as good as using a fan, like the ceiling fan that you have at your home. It is equivalent that the units it uses it is equivalent to uses the 3D printer uses. So it is not that much of a strain on the electronic and on the electricity part. Other than that, post processing, you need files, sandpapers, which are very basic. So your majority cost is the machine and the print and the materials. Rest is nominal cost that any person can source.
Yeah, got it. So the last question is AM cost competitive? Yeah, means it is cost efficient comparative to the traditional processes. Means is it or any?
Yes.
Yeah, and one more thing, one question is there from the Veeresh sir that is there any specific properties of material to be defined for STL model? Like if you are importing any STL model from any 3D softwares, so is there any specific property should be defined whenever you are importing the STL model?
Yes. The now designs, there are two things that people get confused into. Now, the one is is a watertight design, and one is a render. Every object has to have all the dimensions as a watertight design, and not just a render. Render is something where you're showing a basic front view of an object, and it is not a watertight design. So that is number one, rule number one. Second route is when you 3D print, especially with FDM technology, the things that are the angles or the edges of any design that are in the air, or there's no support in between. You have to give it supports so that it doesn't ooze. So it is very important that like if you have a design of a house, and if you're going to print a house on a 3D printer and there is a roof on top, the whole 3D print is going to be wasting. Plus, you're going to use a lot of material. So, if you're experienced in 3D printing, you would know that you separate the roof and print that separately and the body separately, so that the whole it is not filled with supports. Plus, it uses less material. But all of this you will learn only with experience. There are a lot of aspects about 3D printing that if I explain it in this way, it is very tough to. But once you start 3D printing, it is like the easiest thing to understand at the same time. So you would need a lot of experience of 3D printing to understand this. Yes.
Yeah, because as of now, if you will see that, if you will play with the properties of the material, then definitely that will become a kind of research topic for you. If you will play with the characteristics or the properties of the material, then definitely you can
And every design has a different kind of
result
aspect that you need to learn.
encounter.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. And meanwhile, I just want to showcase some our channels, like what kind of things which you have to see. Like if you want to go to if you want to see this, the channel of Mr. Jigar Panchal, which is the third dimension, as you can see in the picture. Okay, so this channel is in. You can see many videos related to this basic layman language. He has explained all the things, basic details of the 3D printing. You can subscribe the channel and go there to get more knowledge about this 3D printing. And similarly, you can also go to our Engineering College Banswara YouTube channel to get the detail of their session which we have covered in the morning, in the evening, which are still going on. And similarly, the video content or related to the 3D printing, few videos has been prepared by our technical staff, Mr. Gajen Nahiwal. He has prepared few videos related to the 3D printing. You can go through the details. He has explained in the Hindi only, so you will get a more idea about the clear aspects of 3D printing using the FDM technology, which is fused deposition modeling. Okay. And similarly, you can also subscribe this Engineering College Banswara YouTube channel for more other content which is already uploaded for all the engineering graduates. This is the introduction of 3D printing by Gajen Nahiwal. You can go through, and many other gear manufacturing is there. Gear manufacturing by the 3D printing. Similarly, how you to do the 3D printing by directly through computer, you can go through. So these are the some content which you can go, and
Hello.
if you want to know anything related to the Engineering College Banswara, just go to our college website. And similarly, for the admission purpose, the link is open. You can directly subscribe and fill the link and admission form and get the detail about the things. Okay. Thank you so much as of now. Yeah. Is there anyone who have some questions related to the speaker till now? I hope all done. Yeah. Anyone have the question? Then please ask so that we can conclude.
Sir, I have one question. Yeah.
Yeah. Please.
To Jigar sir. Hello sir. The session was really nice. I have one question. As compared to the conventional manufacturing, in the 3D printing, the speed of manufacturing the component is little bit slow, right? So is that the parameter? Yeah. So like this is a parameter like this which affects the strength of the component. I mean the speed is it relation of the manufacturing speed and the strength of the component, anything?
Like I said, when you go into manufacturing, if you see the whole process of the traditional method, I already explained this, it is quite much longer than 3D printing. I know people have this, when they say that a print is 21 hours, 24 hours, then they think that, it is a very long process. But when you compare it with the traditional method, it takes much more time from the time from concept to making a die and going for mass production. It can take years, whereas the traditional methods are used. and for the same time, the time for 3D printing can be reduced 100 times lesser. So I feel that 3D printing is much faster than the traditional methods of innovating.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, hope he has answered your query.
There is one more question I think that is just
Yeah, please.
I think that's very important. So that means that support has to be incorporated in the model itself. No. What happens is there are these slicer softwares like Cura is one of the free slicer softwares which translates an STL into a G code. G code is the language which the printer understands, which tells the printer where to extrude the filament. So that software you can automatically incorporate you can click a button and it itself detects the places where the support is needed and those supports are added automatically. So that is not a part of the model.
Yeah. So, and if I'm not wrong, if you have any other kind of query, Jigar is also working as a freelancer. You can contact him at any time either via YouTube channel or the details I will give in the description box of this video as well, whenever we will share it on our YouTube channel. So you can go through it. If you have any query, write us, write Jigar or to the Professor Ravi Kumar sir, and get the connected and just build this society more aware about the 3D printing as it helped in various dimensions during this pandemic COVID-19. So, and I am very much thankful to our honored principal sir, Dr. Sivlal sir, for giving us opportunity to conduct this webinar, and our respected head of the department, Dr. Jignesh Patel sir, our colleagues, Veeresh sir, Sahil sir, and Dhruv sir, and many more are there. I cannot name everyone. So, and at the last and not the least, all both speakers, Dr. Ravi Kumar sir and Mr. Jagar Panchal, for sparing time with us during this pandemic. I am apologizing for any kind of glitch or delay during this whole webinar. And thank you so much to all the participants for your patience. And one major announcement which I have to do, I will share the feedback link just around 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. During that time, I know most of you are eagerly waiting for that because that will be linked with your certificate as well. So I will try to share that link with you at 5 p.m. in between 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And there is a important thing that only 100 certificates will be issued in one day. So we have roughly about 1200 students, so you have to wait till 12 days. Means if you fill the form first, then definitely you may get by today or tomorrow. So that depends on the sequence. It will clear 100 to 100 daily. Okay, so soon it will clear the glitch. That will you will get your certificate for sure. Okay, just kindly fill that feedback form at the end of this webinar. Thank you so much for this encouragement. Thank you, Jiga. Thank you so much for this webinar and coming here and sharing your expertise with us. So thank you so much. This is all about this one-day webinar, one-day national webinar on 3D printing during the pandemic COVID-19.
Sir, feedback will